Okay, so we're all set up to do the pockets for the pickups. Pickup pockets, pocket pickup, pickup pocket, pocket pickups, pickup pockets. And, oops, I'm gonna make a real mess of this epoxy if I'm not careful. Pickup pocket epoxy. And so what we'll do is cut the small ones, the small slots, and then we'll check them for their depth. I think what I'll do, I don't know yet. Yeah, we'll use that as our zeroing point, I think. And then, so basically the pocket has to be 5/16 of an inch deep from the center line, 1 5/16 of an inch deep from the center line. So there's a slight curve, and it's not really a huge critical depth, but it's got to be enough to clear the pickup screws and such. So I think we are ready. I've got my ear protection. I want to get my depth set now. And from there we can be ready to get cutting. I'm going to bring it up a bit here. I think that's going to actually cut. Yeah, it will. Okay, it's got a little bit more than I'd like, actually. It touched off. Oh, I really wish this thing was a little less persnickety. There we go. So that's zeroed. Take about a 1/16 or so, and make sure we're dialed in. I found this base can slip a bit if you're not real careful. I'm gonna, well, yeah, I'm gonna pull over a mat here because soft is easier on the knees anyway. So, all right, I think we're ready to try not to totally F this thing up. Well, I should have known that. I actually did know that, but I just sort of went with this bit and this router, too short to get deep enough with all the offset with the curves and stuff, so I have to switch to my larger router, and I'm going to go to I think I can get this with the 1/2 inch bit. I think it'll be fine. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get set up with my other router. I'm going to actually use my plunge router. That actually is a safer setup anyway. So, all right, we're all set up now with a 3/4 inch bushing and a 1/2 inch router bit. So we've still got the same offset of 1/8 of an inch. It's going to make the corner radiuses a little bit tighter, but or a little bit larger, but that's okay. I think we're ready to try this out and see how we do. We'll give it a go here. Yeah, that's working. Yeah, I think that'll work. I still need to go a bit deeper than what I just did, but we'll check that actually. Let's see what we get. So we've got to 0 here on the center bit. Yeah, that looks about right. So we'll 0 there, and then we'll go to the bottom of this hole. And we're looking at just under 1 inch so far. So yeah, we do want to go a bit deeper than that. That actually worked out. That scale was pretty good. We're gonna come up to about 1 inch and about 1.25 inches now. And we'll lock that, and we'll go down to that level. Alright, so now it looks like, to me, I have fret pockets. Or pickup pockets. Pickup pocket. Pickup pocket. Pickup pocket. Let's find out if I messed anything up. Doesn't look like it. That's good. Cool. Alright, so we're going to try to clear some of this mess out here if I can. So we'll see how this turns out. So this is pickup and ring all together. Well, it looks to me like the 1/2" pocket, or the 1/2" router bit needs to have its corners clipped just a little bit. It's a little undersized for a 1/2" cutter. We've got plenty of room to line everything up there. That's good. So I'm going to pull the cover come off easy? No, it's soldered on. So I'm thinking I will put the template back on, and I will I think I'll grab the 1/4" bit and route around some of that just to give that somewhere to land. I may slightly elongate this way in the CAD file just to make sure that I've got them. Next time I do one with a 1/2" bit will work. But we'll put the pattern back on. This is why we have these locating holes. Just a lack of that. And we have these little spacers over here to keep the whole darn thing level. And we'll plug in the other router. Move this one over here. So it might behoove me to at some point get a long 1/4" bit. The one I have is just not that long is all. Yeah, so we'll go after these corners as deep as I can go with that. There we go. Now I bet the pickup will fit just fine. Vacuum that out a little bit here real quick. And we'll give it a try here. Alright, now it should fit in there just about beautifully. Yeah, alright, and it's deep enough, more than deep enough, because we'll never have it down that low. Yeah, it'll never be that low. Cool, so that's deep enough, and it looks like the same is the case there. Good, good, good. Okay, so our pickup slots have been routed, or pickup pockets have been routed nicely. Good, no destruction. So far, no destruction. That's great. Alright, definitely starting to look like a guitar now. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do the neck mortise, because that's actually coming up next, or very close to next. Coming up close, coming up soon. I've got to work out a way to put it where it needs to go, aligned well, and all of that. I'm thinking I might use this hole in this pocket. Like I might have to draw something. I'm gonna have to think on that. But so anyway, it's held pretty good. But pickup pockets are done. Coolness. We're very close to having a neck going in soon. All right. So the other bit here we're doing is I need to make sure I can pass these electronics through the hole that I've got here, the access point. They're not going through the F-hole. I'm just not going to be able to do it. The jack one might might be able to get through there. Yeah, I can get the jack through, but I won't be able to get these pots through that particular hole exactly. So we're gonna have to take some meat out of here, and I'm just gonna go after it with a small chisel, try to leave enough room for the I gotta make sure I don't go under these two areas, because that's where the pickup screws, the rings that hold the pickup screws go into. And so I want to make sure I'm well and truly clear of not messing those things up. I think the 67 that I saw, they had cut a notch here, but I think they cut in further, and I just didn't because I was trying to conserve wood. And so I think if I did this again, I'd probably bring in the notch I've got here is almost perfect. I could probably make it about 1/8 of an inch narrower, and I could cut in deeper here. So it's kind of what I'm going to simulate, is cutting in a little deeper on the sides of these to sort of get some room for these things. And we'll see how well this does. So the next bit, I believe the next thing to do is the next slot. I think I need to work that out next. Get the next slot done before I bind and flush trim and all that stuff. That means I have to figure out how to get, so the neck goes in to a big old mortise that goes into about this far. So I don't know if you can see this overhang is about 1 inch. There's the center block of this stops about right here. So I got to cut a mortise right in that area, but the mortise has to be ramped this way. It needs to be tilted backwards. So it's not just flat, it's tilted at, I think it was 4 degrees I saw. And it's a certain depth. It's 1.5 inches from the top surface down, with a little fudge room. So I have to work out a jig that's going to allow me to do that slot at the right angle securely. So I'm kind of working through that in my head just a little bit here. Yeah, I've got to work that out. I've got to work out, excuse me. I've got to work out the proper width, the proper depth, and the angle. This mortise I'm going to end up fitting better by hand, but to hog out the waist, maybe I should just do a hogging out of the waist flat. That's just same level as these are, and then chisel the ramp that I need on it. That might be better. I think I like that idea best, because I'll be able to chisel from this side. That lets me do, basically I'll just go and make another template that is the 2 holes with a pocket hole that's a mortise hole that's 1/8 of an inch larger, and I can use the same 1/2 inch plunge bit, 1/2 inch router bit, and collar. Yeah, we're ready to cut the routing template for the neck mortise now. So we'll grab some hearing protection and begin routing. And there we are. That was a quick one. This is a pretty simple template. Pop you out of there now. Ouch. Not much to it, just a rectangle with a hole in it. Okay, so now we've got it, just a couple of the spacer blocks to get over the lump in the middle. And that is where the routing will happen, right there. And we're just going to take the same thing we did on the pickup pockets and make a neck pocket, and we'll set up for that next. Time to make a neck mortise. Oh, I should mention, I also undersized the template. So the template is oversized by 1/8 of an inch for the offset of the collar, but it's about 15 thou undersized. It should cut a smaller mortise than I actually specify in the plans, leaving me room to hand fit. So hopefully that's enough, and we'll get this going. I've cut looks like about 3/4 of an inch depth so far. I'm just getting in here to check, make sure everything's where it needs to be. We're about level with the pickup slot right now. The pickup pocket, and then we are centering pretty decently. That's good. I want to just make sure I've got enough lumber laying around here. I'm also curious. Let's see how if I can get a measure of how wide our slot is here. About a little under 1.5 inches, which is what I wanted. We're about, in fact, 30 or so thou undersized, which is what I was after. Good. So that tells me the pattern's working well, and I cut all the way out to the end, which is good. I wanted to make sure I got all the way out here and didn't have a radius to fight with. I might still need to put a little bit of a ding here somewhere to make it so it's not quite so. It's got just a tad bit of the radius there. So we're going to keep on going here. I've set the depth stop on the router to be where I want it, but I'm measuring and trusting but verifying. So we'll take some more passes here. Alright, so we're 1.2475. That's close enough to 1.25 inches there for me, I think. We'll pop off the pattern here real quick and do a double check of that measurement. Yeah, that's going to work out well. Grab a little vacuum here real fast. Made a little bit of a mess, but not too bad. And then we'll do a true test of depth here now. We'll start out at 0. And we'll do a real test here. This is as close to full test as I can get it here. 1.2475. Good. So that means my methods were good. Alright, so that means it's a little high here, but it's pretty close to finished depth here, which is great. So now I'm trying to decide if I'm ready to start flush trimming, because I want to make sure I keep these locating holes for as absolutely long as I possibly need them. I think, man, it would be nice if I could do the bridge and saddle, the bridge and tailpiece here because of the centering, but it's just not going to happen. I got to wait till after the finish before I can do that. So we're going to have to, I think we're ready to flush trim. I think we're very, very close to being ready to that. I think it's time to flush trim this thing. Okay, then that means we got to get set up in the what did they call that? The cradle thing, whatever it's called. Yeah. So there's the neck pocket. Here, I'll pop this up, and you can have yourselves a gander at it. there's my neck pocket. It's still got the web of this because they're still connected, but when I flush trim, this will go away. But we've got ourselves a neck pocket now. We got pick a pocket and neck a pocket. Pick a pocket, neck a pocket, neck a pocket, pick a pocket. Yeah. Okay, so we're ready to flush trim. Oh, got a package from the one and only StewMac. This is my extra bindings and a couple other bits. We'll get into that in a minute. I'm getting ready to flush trim, so I've got this little rig you haven't seen yet. It's a router that sits on these rails that runs up and down. This keeps it perfectly vertical. And there's a little donut under here that lets it ride on the surface, and now I can run the guitar around. This will also be useful for cutting the binding. And now, so what will happen here is that it will follow the contours of the body. And on this body, most of it's flat way out here, but it's just this nice little tiny little footprint to ride just on the outer edge, and it'll rise up and down as needed as you as it needs to get to make the cut stay perfectly plumb. We'll use that for the binding too. I'll show more about this in a little while, but right now what I want to do is is trim off a lot of the extra, and I have to do this kind of carefully so I don't ding too much of this up. So I'm just kind of, I'll try to clamp this board down. That's what I'll do, just to keep it from shifting too much. I'll just clamp everything down so that I might make a few quick simple cuts, just gentle. And I'm just getting these tabs off. We're done with the centering holes at this point, or at least I hope we are. This is just a simple Japanese pole saw, nothing fancy. But we have to do the back first because of the neck mortise. There's nowhere for the this cradle to hold onto on the front once the tab was cut away, so it wouldn't be able to hold it for when I needed to do the back. So we do the back first so we don't route away our holding point, and then I can flush this up. And we'll do the same on this side because there's no real need for us to fight with all of this material with the router. It's easier to just saw it when I can. There we go. There's still a good 1/4 inch extra there. Okay, we'll do the same when we flip it over, but I'm going to get things situated here nicely so it's held relatively stiffly. This doesn't hold it all that firmly. It's more of a holding it up. I'll show you this thing here. This cradle actually it's worthy of being described. So it is going to throw the guitar around, but it is kind of a guitar shape, but it's just really a very small undersized shape. And it's got these risers. You saw me make these. You saw me making this in one of the videos not too long ago. And so that's what this is for. It holds everything up off the top, off the bottom, because of the curved surfaces, so it won't flop around. This actually gives you a good level base, and it stays in one plane while you're routing around the outer edge. The other thing I did, you probably can't see it, is I marked lines just to save idiocy so I don't do something stupid. But the little arrows here, these little carrots, are the direction of feed that I need to go so that I minimize the chance of blowing out. Because if you come this way uphill, it's possible, actually worst case is if you come this way uphill, you could tear out the fibers because they won't be supported. So you want to come from this point and come in, this point and come in, this point and come in. You kind of, it's not necessarily climb cuts every time, but it's routing downhill on the grain. And sometimes it is a climb cut. And we've got enough waste to remove here that it's going to take a few goes to make sure we get everything held, or get everything flushed. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of a quick dry run to make sure I'm not, you know, doing it completely dumb, but make sure it all fits around here. Let me just set it up. And what I've got in there is a 3/4 inch diameter flush trim router bit. So it's a 3/4 inch diameter bit with a 3/4 inch bearing on the bottom that registers against the side face here, and it's trimming everything flush. I might be able to find a decent place to give you a better view of this. We'll see. I might bring you down here somewhere and you can see from this direction. Okay, this is a decent view, I think, of the process. I have a feeling though, because the bit spins towards you, so I have a feeling you're going to get sprayed with sawdust. We're going to find this out though real fast, so bear with me. Alright, so it looks like you did get kind of splattered a little bit. It was making some fluffies, kind of messing them all over the place. But in the end, so that at the very end you saw I ran through, ooh, I got some scratches. Okay, I got to watch that. At the end I ran through the whole perimeter all in one shot all the way around in a conventional cut to make sure we got a decent cut all the way around. And we did. It's pretty good. So we're ready to, I think we're going to, next step is going to flip it over, and I'm going to give you guys a different camera angle. Maybe we can get you a little less sprayed with dust. All right, that little gizmo did a bang-up job, I must say. Move it out of the way here. I'll show a better video of that at some point, but oh man, yeah, I'm really crooked here, ain't I? Okay, let's fix that. That's better. All right, and the front is now roughly flush trimmed. There was some glue squeeze out and such, but I'm gonna clean those up after a little bit. I'll clean those up now or whenever. Before I do the binding bit, there's a little gloop here. So, but the idea is you'll use this surface to cut the rabbet, and so I'm going to get a hold of this thing in a way that'll let me sand this side. It's nice and pretty smooth perfectly before we do the binding, so that the binding groove is the binding rabbet is perfectly shaped. So. But in the end, we are now guitar shaped, fully guitar shaped. So now that's freaking awesome. I like it. So far so good. Oop, drop it. Pretty cool. That's freaking neat. And that's pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased. So we'll bring you back for the next step. I haven't done a opening mail on camera thing yet, so I figure we'll try it. We'll see what happens. This is my my order from Stuart McDonald. This is my secondary order, my supplemental order, because I needed a few more parts. There's a few things in here I don't actually need because I didn't know they would be coming, but some important pieces are tuning machines, Grovers. They should be great. Tuning machines, my binding strips. The rest of this is excess. I don't need it. This is all stuff I got for the pickups that actually turns out came with the pickups and I didn't know they would, so this is just surplus for me. Oh no, there is a few things in here I want. So there's this wire strip. I'm going to use this when I go to redo the wiring for the electronics. The rest of this is screws for the pickups, pickup rings, and springs for the pickup rings in case I need them, but since the pickups came with all these, I don't really need them. But I picked up a few just to have some options. Like I've got black and nickel covered screws for the pickup rings. Not sure which ones are going to look best, so. And I haven't had I haven't found a good shot of it close up. And there's different spring sizes just in case I need those. And then the binding is actually the fretboard is bound, and according to the plan it said 20 thou thick, and I got the 20 thou thick stuff and it looked way too thin, so I got some 40 thou, and that looks a little closer to what I've been seeing on the actual guitars that I've been able to handle. Some shielded wire. I actually ordered it as extra, but now that I've decided I'm definitely going to redo the wiring so that they're longer, I'll use those. And then these are my tuning machines from Grover, which is great. I think that means I have all of the hardware that I need for this guitar.